Okay, guys, are you able to hear me clearly? You are able to hear me clearly, everyone? Okay. Okay, so let me just share my screen. You are able to see the screen? Okay. Yeah, great. So the Google Forms, I'm going to close it. Yeah. As I had told you yesterday that I'll be closing the forms today. Zomato assignment. Anyone needs to say anything? No? Okay. Okay, I got 62 responses. Responses are closed. Okay, I'll go through your responses, and also there is another form, okay, which says that what all doubts you have. So let me see that thing. How many of you have doubts? Just 18 doubts? Z index. Okay, 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 fine. So great. I guess you guys have completed the Zomato project. Most of you have done it. So great. Let us then go to our DOM project. Let me just open it. Okay, no. Yeah. So let us just copy the full path. Yeah. So this was our, our entire like Tasky thing, and we were able to get all the things in our console. Like here is the console. Where is that? Did not we get things? Okay, we need to add the card, then we'll get some console logs. Okay. So that was the thing up to yesterday. Until yesterday, it was the thing which we completed. Now, after that, what we need to do, let us go to our script.js. And here, this save changes thing was done. And if you have any doubts in this or in today's lecture, whatever I'll be teaching, after this, I'll have a doubt session continued. So you can ask that. Okay, great. So over here, we have these all things. Now, after that, we had our cards. Okay, where is our cards? We had a section for cards, right? Okay, so yeah, this is our section for cards, and here was our card. Okay, so over here, what we need to do, we need to tell that, okay, we need to add the cards whenever you are basically, whenever you are adding something over here, you are adding a card, right? You are adding a card. So let us try to grab this particular section so that whenever we are going and adding a card, then the whole thing is added as a child of this class container of this particular section. Okay, so let us try to grab this particular thing. So let us have here task underscore container. Okay, you can use camel casing as well. I'm using just underscores. Okay, so task container, I gave it a class. Let us go to our script.js and let us try to find out, like, let us try to basically get that element. Okay, so now you tell me, like, let us first do things over here. Let us debug and see what basically comes. So let us create a const called task container. Okay, equals to okay, I need to go to the document, and then I need to get element by class name. And here is our class name. What is our class name? Our class name is task underscore container, right? So I'm trying to get this. Okay, so after that, I'll basically console log my task container. Okay, task container. Great. Let me save this. Let me go. Let me refresh it, and let me see the console. Okay, I got here. There is, there is an entire HTML collection. It's of length 1 only, but here I'm getting a lot of things. Okay, here just I have one element. I need to grab this particular first element. So what I can do, I can either write this task container, then index 0. That means it will basically grab the entire task container array, and it will just throw in the first element, that is 0th index element, to me, okay, to the console. So now if I go and if I refresh it, then you can see that I got it. Okay, I got it. Whatever I required, the entire thing, this entire division, I got this. Okay. So over here you are doing this. Now after that, if I don't want to use get element by class name, I just want to have the first element by default without writing here 0. What can I do? What else can I do? It solely depends on you, but what else can I do? Okay, okay, okay. Okay. Yeah, it's open. Okay. Query selector. Exactly. Okay. Ma'am, can you show once where you added? No, it was not a new ID. It was a new class. It was added here inside the section container where you have the entire card. There only it was added. Okay. Great. So yeah, you can use a query selector instead. Okay, you can use a query selector instead. So let us go over here and let me just write here query selector. Selector. Okay, now when I have query selector, I need to write here exactly in the form it is present. Okay, how is the task container? It's a class. Okay, it's a class. So how to represent a class? It is represented by dot. So you have to write dot task container. Okay, and now if you directly log in the task container, and if I go over here and if I just refresh this entire if I refresh this entire thing, you see I got the division row task container, whatever division I required, I got that. Okay. So this is how you can do things. You can either use a query selector or you can use the get element by class name and then access the zeroth element. Solely depends on you. But yeah, you should try out different methods, right? Got it, everyone? I had already given you a brief of query selector and all. Yes, great, great. Now over here, we want to add a new card. Okay, we want to add a new card whenever basically we are trying to like save the changes. Okay, we want that a new card should be added whenever we are trying to save the changes. So how to add a new card? How to basically do it? Okay, so over here you have a lot of things. You have the row task container, these all things are present. So suppose inside this container from row only the entire card starts. Okay, but the row is basically the entire row. Okay, the child individual cards division starts from here. Okay, from this particular thing, division call MD6 and call LG4 to the rest of the parts. Okay, the entire thing. So what we are going to do, let us copy this entire thing and let us assume that okay, we have our card over here, but whenever we are trying to add in certain details, okay, through the button add new, and that time actually we are trying to push any card over to our entire user interface. So how to do it? We are basically trying to push a card through JavaScript. We are trying to change the HTML through JavaScript. So obviously, if we are doing that, we need to have this card inside our script.js as well. Okay, inside our script.js as well, we need to have that card. Now, how to do that? How to basically have that card inside your script.js? It's a dynamic thing. How to do that? You can do that using your uh, like backtick, the entire template literal. Okay, that's why dynamic rendering and all how it's done. It's done using template literal. Okay, so how to do over here? We will create a cons, we'll name it as new card. Okay, and then inside our template literal here, we will have our template literal. Okay, and inside our template literal, we will be basically putting in our card. Okay, putting in our entire HTML. Okay, so your HTML is inside your template literal. Okay, you are basically having your HTML inside your template literal, and now you will be dynamically rendering things. How to dynamically render things? How to dynamically render things? You have to tell that okay, it has a ID, it has a class, it has something and that, and those are a lot of things are present over here. So we have to do these all things. Okay, here we have to dynamically render the source, we have to dynamically render the title, the entire content, the description, because these are the things which are basically getting changed every time you are adding a new card. Okay, that's where the user is interacting with the interface. So let us do that on the first call. Over here, first of all, we have a ID. Okay, so ID here, the ID will be the basic ID, whatever is present over here, that is date dot now. So how to basically grab that ID? We have to have the task data dot ID. Okay, this is how we will be grabbing our ID. Okay, so task data dot ID. After that, we want to grab in other things like the name. Okay, the button. Over here we have a button, we have a button outline success, we have this particular button. Okay, the image source is also available, then a lot of things are available. Okay, so let us do that. Okay, let us do that. So over here we need to have a lot of things, like let us do this description. Okay, here is the description, here is the card text, here is the image source. So image source, we have to grab it from our, okay, so we will be removing this. I'm basically searching for whatever things the user is trying to input. Okay, I'll search for these all things and I'll just replace it with the dynamic things. Okay, dynamic data we have right now. Okay, so over here you have your image. So instead of image, we are going to have like going to grab the task data dot image. Okay, so here we will be having our task data dot image. Okay, so we have our task data dot image. Is it so? Image URL. Okay, it's the image URL. Okay, great. Okay, so after that we have this particular thing. Okay, after that we have the title. So the title also we need to grab it from our task data. So let us do that. So over here also we are going to have our task data dot what was it, task title. Okay, so we have our task title. Okay, so the key was task title. Okay, we got it. Yeah, then we have our description. So okay, here we have our description. Great. Then over here again the task data dot task description. Okay, task description. Okay, so we grab these all things. Now after that, go somewhere. Okay, that was the button, I guess. Let us see over here. Yeah, that was the button. So button is not required. That's fine. Okay, so these all things are done. Okay, these all things are done. So after this, like, you must be getting it how things are done over here. We are grabbing these all data from the user and then we are basically rendering them dynamically over here. And after rendering them dynamically, we will basically push things. Okay, we will push things. Where will we push things over here? We have our task container. Okay, we have our task container. What is your task container? Task container is your HTML body, like the parent, this one. Okay, this is the parent. Inside this you have the child. Okay, the child is already there inside our script.js. We will be pushing the child into the parent, that is task container. So we are going to push the entire child into the parent. So what we will do over here, we'll write task container dot. Okay, now here dot push does not work. Okay, there is no dot push inside your HTML, like DOM manipulation and all. So over here you have certain things like insert adjacent HTML. Okay, just a second, my battery is going down. Yeah, is it getting charged? I have joined from phone now, so that is it. Okay, yeah, you have your insert adjacent HTML. Okay, so how to do that? Let me just show you how things work over here. Okay, so over here, suppose this is your HTML, like this is your HTML body. Okay, this is your HTML body. Okay, and inside your HTML body you have certain thing. Okay, certain elements are present. Okay, certain elements are present. So suppose this is your card, the outer one is your card, and the inner one is certain elements present inside the card. Okay, so what you can do, there are four places, positions. Okay, there is one this position, there is one this position, there is one this position, and another position is present over here. Okay, is present over here. So what are these positions called? Let me change the color. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so this particular position is called the before begin position. Okay, so before begin. Okay, and then this position is called the after begin position. So after begin. Okay, this position is called the before end position, before end, and this position is called the after end position. Okay, after end. Okay, so these are the positions, these are the positions which are present inside your HTML. Okay, inside your HTML, this is before begin, after begin, before end, and after end. So over here, when your card is getting placed, okay, then the next card will get placed inside this position, inside this particular position, because the next card is after the first card, right? So it is the after end position. Okay, it's the after end position. So that is why over here inside our JavaScript, inside our script.js, we will write insert adjacent HTML. This is an inbuilt method. Okay, and inside it we will be writing before end. The first thing is the position. Okay, the first parameter is the position. Okay, and the second parameter is what you are basically trying to like push. Okay, so it is your new card. Okay, it is your new card. So this is how things work over here. Okay, this is how things work over here. Got it? Now if I go over here and if I just try to push in certain card, let me just grab in an image. Okay, let me go images. Okay, images. Okay, copy image address, add image, paste in test image, uh, tree, and then here beautiful image. Something unnecessary I'm going to do over here. You can see an image is added over here, right? An image is added over here. Now I'm just using the default setting and save changes, and you can see another image is added. Now let us see if it gets into another row or not. Save changes, and you can see that it got into another row. Okay, it got into another row. So things are working properly. Okay, our script code is fine. Our script is absolutely perfect. Got it? Yeah, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat it. Do not worry. Okay. So let me give another repeat to the entire thing. Okay. Great. This is your index.html. Okay. This is your index.html. This is your section. Yeah. Inside your section you have row is the parent of all the all the elements. Okay, all the cards, this is the parent. Your main card, your child, whichever you want to push, like inside Tasky project, just understand the workflow. What is the workflow? You are adding some task and the card is getting pushed. Okay, so here the card is the child and you want to push the child, and the child is from here to here, that is this particular part. Okay, this particular part. So I copied it. Now, why did I copy it? Because inside HTML, things are static. You are trying to push a card through JavaScript, okay, through JavaScript. Because here, these statements like this particular paragraph tag, this particular image source, and your yeah, this particular title, these are something which you will be getting from the user. Okay, you are not feeding it, you are getting it from the client side. So something which you are getting from the client side, that thing should be rendered dynamically. To render it dynamically, you need to have this entire thing inside your script.js. Okay, we can have HTML codes inside our script as well, but you need to use the template literal for that. Okay, you need to use the template literal. Okay, so inside template literal, what did I do? I basically created a const called new card. It is basically a fragment of HTML. Okay, and inside that I put my entire template literal, and it has my entire HTML code. Okay, my HTML child entire snippet it has. Okay, after that, here I have my ID, that is your task ID. Okay, this is the ID of the child. Okay, all the childs are unique over here. Here you have just one fragment, but every time you add a card, it has a unique ID associated with it. So it is a unique child. Okay, great. Now you'll understand the importance of ID when we go to delete, because in delete you are deleting cards based on their ID. Okay, so there you will know the importance of ID. But for now, just understand that here, what are the dynamic things that you need to change? What are the dynamic things that you need to change? Okay, here I don't have the, yeah. Okay, what are the dynamic things that you need to change? Okay, it's the SRC. Now it did not throw any error because there was no use of ID over here. Okay, so here the dynamic things are the SRC, because you are getting the source of the image from the client, you are getting the title of the image from the client, you are getting the description of the image from the client. So these three are the dynamic things. How to get those things? We have already, we have already created an object over here which is grabbing these all things. Whenever you are basically feeding an input, the client is feeding an input, here is an object which is grabbing everything. How to access any of the keys of an object? You use the dot operator. Okay, and how to dynamically render it? Already had told you, you use the dollar symbol. Okay, you use the dollar symbol and curly braces. So here I have my dollar symbol, I have my curly braces. How to get the source? Here you have your task data dot image URL. Okay, because image URL is the child of task data. How to grab a child of any object? You use the dot operator. Similarly, here also task data dot task title. Okay, you are getting the task title. Then task data, again over here you have the task description. Okay, so task description. Great, we are done with it. Okay, we are done with this particular thing. Okay, after you are done with this particular thing, we basically go and we try to insert your entire card, your entire child into the task container. Which is your task container? You are grabbing the task container from your HTML. Here is your HTML. Inside your HTML, this child is basically your task, like, sorry, this particular row section is your task container. Okay, this is the parent. You are pushing in child into this parent dynamically, not inside. If you are doing it inside HTML, how will you push? You will copy this entire code and you will paste it again. You will paste it again with different source, with different title, with different text. But here we are doing it using JavaScript. So we are pushing into our task container. Your task container is the parent. Your parent is this one, no? The row task container. Okay, so after you do this, you are basically trying to insert adjacent HTML, because here there is nothing like push and all inside HTML. Okay, inside your normal HTML and JavaScript. Okay, so inside databases you obviously have, but we are not dealing with database right now. So here you have your task container. You are trying to insert, you are trying to push the entire HTML fragment into your task container, that is the parent. Now where you want to push it? You want to push it before end. Before end is a position. Here you can see, where was it? Yeah, this is the before begin, this is after begin, this is before end, this is after end. Okay, so here you are basically trying to push it before end. Okay, here actually I basically tripped in between, like I messed up in between. Here actually this is your entire row. Okay, control Z does not work here. Yeah, this is your entire row. Okay, this is your entire row, this is your entire card row, this is the element, this is your card element. Okay, where are you trying to push your card, like next card? You are trying to push your next card over here, that is before end. Okay, that is before end. This is your card. This is your first card. You are trying to push in another card over here. This means the next position. Okay, so you are trying to push in before end. So that is why here we have the position as before end. And what are you trying to push? You are trying to push the new card. Okay, you are trying to push the new card. So this is how things work. Okay, and that is the reason we are getting things over here. Okay, got it, everyone? Okay, why can't we add the code from section of the card? See, this is a HTML. It is only responsible for dealing with static things. Here you can add, but the coder has to do things. You can't add any card from the client side over here. Okay, because it is only responsible for development side. Okay. If you want to do any changes in the HTML, you can do it if you are the owner or if you are the developer. Okay. The client or the user cannot do it. So how to make the user or the client do it? You have to have a script, right? That is the reason. If the first card is not there, that means the entire thing is empty and the card will be added at the first place only. Okay, that means your row, this particular row is empty, so your first card will be added over here. Okay, the before end position. Yeah, this is your row. Let me just write over here some red, yeah, some text. Yeah, this particular thing is your row. Okay, and this particular thing is your card. Yeah, if the row is empty, nothing will be added, like it's empty, so a new card will be added before end. If you have a card, then obviously after the card, the next card will be added over this position. Okay, got it? Yeah, if you use before begin, then the cards will be added in reverse. Okay, so got it, everyone? Understood? Did you understand? Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, now tell me one thing. What is the problem in this particular thing? What's the problem? What problem do you face over here inside this particular project? Tell. Like as a client, as a user of this application, what problem do you face? Just try to explore and say, okay, before exploring you need to do this, right? You need to do this. So please share the, okay, I have the Google Doc, so I'll basically push the code inside the Google Doc and you do it. Come back after 5 minutes and tell me what issue are you facing, like as a client, not as a developer. Ma'am, this is not happening, or ma'am, that is not happening, not like that. Okay, as a developer, what are you facing? No, as a sorry, as a client, what are you facing, not as a developer. Okay, because a developer may face issues like, ma'am, this is not compiling, or ma'am, I'm facing issue in doing this, making this happen. No, once you have successfully made it happen, after that I want you to tell me that what issue are you facing as a client, okay, as a user of this application. Okay, so go to this particular thing. No, do not worry about edit or delete, because those features we have not like done, we have not implied right now. Yeah, forget about this and this particular thing. Whatever is happening inside this, what issue are you facing? Whatever we made to perform. Okay, so we are basically adding a card. Okay, till then what issue are you facing? Can someone tell? First do it, take 5 minutes and do it. Okay, No, okay, that's not the issue because the default information, if it remains, that's a good thing, right? Different size photo is not coming properly. No, things coming properly. See? Oh, okay. Here you are saying that there is a different size photo over here. So it should be of the same size. No, that's not one of the issues. Suppose you have a bigger photo. So let it be big. Okay. Okay, yeah. So insert adjacent HTML is basically for adding in certain HTML element. Okay, pushing. It's basically pushing in certain HTML element or fragment to the task container. And before and first parameter is the position. Second and is the second part is what you need to add. Okay. So here I need to add a new card. I want to add a new card. So how to add a new card over here? Before and so what is the before and position? The before and position is this one. This is a row. Okay. This is your parent. Inside it you have your card. And now before begin, after and before end, that is when the entire card is over, the entire card is placed. After the entire card I need to place another card. Okay, so that is basically before end. Great. Please complete it and tell what as a client you are facing issue, like serious issue, user experience issue. Tell. Yeah, I have shared the JS code in the Google Doc. Yes, this is one of the things. Once you refresh, all the information vanishes. What's the importance of such a project when you can't store the information? Okay, we will be dealing with that. Yeah, yeah. Another one is that when you add certain card, see, when you add certain card, when you basically click on save changes, then the model should go. Okay, you do not have to like every time click on save changes, then on the cross button. It's a 1 minute thing. It's something related to the user experience. Okay, UX thing, not a very uh, difficult or diplomatic or very bug kind of issue. Though the refresh thing was a very big issue, but this one is not a very big issue. It's a user experience thing. Okay. So yeah, here this can be done if you just click on save changes, then the model should disappear. That's a small thing. Another important thing is that when you refresh now, everything just goes out. Okay, everything goes out. This is one of the difficulties that you face. Okay, so please complete this. Take 2 minutes more and complete this entire thing, and tell me if you are done. Like everything works properly. Okay, tell me. This is not the only way. There are terms like databases and all. We will be learning about it later. We will use databases, and there are other methods as well. So we'll be dealing with that.
હું ક્લાસમાં છું.
Are you done or not, guys? Okay, guys, great. So, understood, everyone? Do you have any doubts? Now, please ask your doubts. Ask your doubts. Ask in your doubts. What doubts you have based on the DOM project? Ask in. Uh, just a second. Explain script. Okay, okay. Why we did not use instead of why we did not use task data dot task type instead of you can use task type, but why to use task type in task description? I mean, why? I'm getting a call. Just a second. Okay, yeah. So great. Got it. This one. Okay. The function. Which function? Repeat the script code. See, here inside your script, you have your entire. Just a second. So many messages. God, this phone. Let me just keep it on mute. Yeah. So over here you have your task container. Then you just select the task container class, that is the parent class, and then you basically save the changes. Okay, what is save changes? Save changes is basically getting in all the data the user inputs, the user feeds. Yeah, once the feeder data you have got, you have to put in those data in the required places inside your entire child fragment. Okay, this is a child fragment. Here we are putting in the data. What is dollar and curly brace? It is for dynamic rendering inside your HTML fragment, right? And then you have your task container and you are inserting the adjacent HTML child, that is the adjacent HTML fragment before the end. And which one is the fragment? It is the new card, that is this particular card that is inside your template literal. Okay, this is how things are done. Got it? Any other doubts do you have? Ask me. Any other doubts? Please do ask. Don't have any doubts? Still? No doubts. Okay. 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 So tomorrow, what we will be doing? What will be our task tomorrow? Let us go to index.html. Let us try to list down our task. Oh, okay. So what will be our task tomorrow? First task is basically uh like letting the data prevail even after refreshing. Okay. And the next one is what's the next one? The next one is basically closing the modal on save changes. Okay, these are the two tasks. Got it, everyone? These are the two tasks that we need to do tomorrow, and this is the only task. Like tomorrow we also need to do this. Yeah, apart from that, tomorrow what will be our task? Our task will be deleting the modal, deleting the modal, not the cards. Okay, deleting the cards. And what will be your assignment after tomorrow? Okay, after tomorrow's lecture, your assignment will be editing the card. This will be your assignment. Sign. Okay, so this is what we will be doing. Okay, this is what we will be doing. Let me update the Google Doc with this so that you guys also have the. Okay, here is your Google Doc. Okay, great. So okay, guys, a lot of you have submitted the Zomato doubts. Yeah, if you have any doubts, then please write it over here. Tomorrow I'll be closing this form. Okay, tomorrow I'll be closing this form. And I'll be also, I got to know that some of you have directly copied and pasted the source code. Okay. by inspecting the website. See, anyways, I'll be able to know this, and I already know some students have done this. So do not do it, because it, it actually has a very bad impression. Okay, so don't do this further. Avoid it, because I do see that. Okay, uh, you have these all things. Okay, you have done these all things. Okay. Ma'am, please share the doubts link here. Okay, the doubts link. Um, okay, send over here, shorten URL, copy. Yeah. Okay, got it, guys. This is basically grabbing the parent. Okay, that is the parent here, which like over here you can see which one is the parent. The parent is your where has it gone? Where is the parent? Yeah, your parent is your task container. Okay, the row task container is your parent. Now you are trying to push in the child inside this parent. Okay, inside a row, all the columns are present, right? So you are trying to push in the child inside the parent. So how to basically grab the parent, grab the original container inside which you try to push in the child. Okay, so to grab the container and to push in things inside this container, we are basically having our this particular thing, query selector. Okay, once we select this, get this, then we will be inserting adjacent HTML beside it. Okay, got it? Understood? Great. Okay, guys, then see you all tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care. And yeah, bye.